give you a little sort of background on this. What is it and why do we do it? And we do it on a lot of the projects that we're a part of. So first, I would say that there's really three goals of a topping out ceremony. The first is to signify a milestone in the project's life. So in this case, it's when the steel frame of the building reaches its maximum height, right? So that is typically when the tallest piece of the building is erected. It also serves to help honor the construction crew's accomplishments as they've gone through the work to date, and generally celebrate the building process. And then lastly, it is intended to bring good luck, both to the construction workers that are going to be working on the building from here forward, as well as anyone that walks through the doors of the building once it is open. So that is really the goals of this type of ceremony. And doing a little research in how did we come to this? Where did we start this tradition? It's a builder's rite, which is a ceremony. It's kind of a solemn ceremony that originated in Europe. And they think around 700 AD, the Scandinavians who had been practicing this ceremony or rite of celebrating the topping out of a building, they started to use trees. And so a lot of times when you see these beams lifted onto the building, you'll see a tree attached to the top of them. And the Scandinavians did that because they wanted to appease the tree-dwelling spirits that were displaced when they cleared the trees for the building. So that's really where we believe the ceremony and the rite started. Ultimately, that practice moved to England and then to the rest of Europe, and then ultimately here to the Americas. Another theory of why we use it so often in the United States is when we first started to build skyscrapers here in the United States. In many cases, the contractors would hire very highly skilled Native American steelworkers to erect the buildings. And as they got to the top of the building, they would affix a tree to the tallest part of the building so that no man-made building would ever be taller than a tree. So there's a lot of history and a lot of symbolism in this type of ceremony. So today, in modern day at least, we use this in countries all across the world. And here in the United States, typically it is a beam, and it's the last beam of the building. It's painted typically, signed by the stakeholders so that they have a piece of this building. They will always be remembered as the group that helped to develop the structure and ultimately to build the structure. We'll see that again today. And so today we're going to top out this structure here in just a few minutes. The stakeholders have signed the beam. Is there anyone else that wants to sign the beam? This is literally the last chance. Just really quickly about this building. This beam not only is the tallest beam, but it's going to represent the last of 300 tons of steel that have been placed in this building. The construction crews that have been hard at work have really put a lot of time, a lot of energy in making sure this is not only here, but that it's right and that it's on time, right? So this is sort of marks the end of the construction of the skeleton, the heavy part of the construction, and now we start to build what goes inside of it. But with that, I'm going to ask Brad and team to go ahead and hoist the beam.
Learn more at ccc.seniorservicesinc.org.